Two, one. And welcome back to another episode of Skill Issue. In today's episode, we are going to be talking about how to think about constructing lists, what considerations you need to have, and general meta chat, I guess, is going to be the kind of vibe for this episode. I thought it's important to do this kind of at the start of like a new meta. I say new, it's very similar to the meta that's been around for a while. Very slight tweaks, but yeah, besides that,
Slightly
Tate,
condemned.
how are you?
I'm good. I've had a bit of a wild. So we had a public holiday here,
Yep,
and I went away and then hit a kangaroo with someone's car. So I've had a
dream.
I've had a good weekend. Other than that, yeah. And all my friends here said, "Welcome to Australia," was their one response to that.
Yeah,
But yeah, no, that's been my weekend. Other than that, I am gearing up for a big teams tournament, or sort of the first big teams tournament here over this weekend. So we've just had lists come out for that last
nice.
night. So in the process of doing some sort of pairing strategy, doing matrixing for that. So it'll be heaps of fun because I haven't been to like a big tournament this year. I've done a lot of RTTs, but just
Yep.
nothing that I've taken super seriously. So it's good to kind of get back into taking it a bit more seriously. Especially after last week that I had two people on the same night tell me that I'm always playing shitty meme lists and that it's really tanking their ability to respect me. So I was like, okay.
Hell yeah. Oh, that's very good. Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Oh, nice
But
though.
yeah, what about yourself? That's
Yeah, yeah, good man. Yeah, been just playing a bunch of games after I had a week off sick a couple weeks ago. Work's been like real crazy, but I've still been able to play like 4 to 5 games of 40k a week, which is pretty good. Like that's kind of like
nice.
what I'm
Yeah,
trying to gain. I'm at 4 games this week already, so that's pretty good. And it's only Wednesday, so
that's good.
happy with
That's
that. Trying to
good.
really get the reps in on the factions that I'm playing for ANZTC. So, and also like playing
Mhm.
against things, like, trying to be that person that can get a rep with like Blood Angels into people that need to get a rep into that. All that kind of stuff is kind of like part
Yeah.
of the goal. So that's been really good. I had an absolute win of like a husband thing today. So I was like, halfway through the workday, my wife was working from home, and I was like, hey, like if you want to cook dinner before I get home, we can take out and have a picnic on the beach. Just like it was a beautiful day. We don't have very many nice days in Dunedin, so I was like, it's a good day. Let's go eat at the beach. And then when we were sitting down at the beach, she's like, oh, so how did you remember that it was like this was the day that we met like a million years ago? And I was like, I didn't. So I was like, hell yeah. So that was quite cool. I was like, hell yes. So it was like, one of those wins.
That's a vibe.
Sometimes you just get a gimme, and that was one of those times I just got a gimme. So, take the wins.
Yeah. I'm surprised you
Um,
didn't milk that more, to be honest. I was
nah.
like, I've had it in my diary for years.
But it's so not me. It's like I'm so bad at planning stuff. So it's
Yeah,
just like she would see right through it straight away, and she'd be like, "You didn't play anything, did you?" Say no. I was like, just be honest. But no, that was quite good. It ended up being real windy on the beach though, so like it was just like eated probably just as much sand as we did food. But hey, it was nice. Sentiment was good. But yeah, no, just loving playing 40k at the moment. Playing a lot of Tau, which has been real fun. So I love playing the new Tau stuff.
oh yeah,
Like yeah, it's just silly. The stuff you can do with
fun
twins
for
is
some.
so silly.
Yeah, yeah. I played Care on that last week actually, and I went first. I was playing like a heap of Zangles, so it was a bit of a meme. But I was like, okay, my kind of MO is I'm flipping your expansion by cycling Zangles through this Rhino. I need to charge Zangles and kill your Pathfinder's top of one, otherwise it's just going to move block me.
Yeah.
And he scouted the Twin Lance up behind the Pathfinders, and I was like, fuck, if I charge them, I just lose instantly. They heroic, and then they're like fall back 10, and then they go 10, and then they're on my home, and they're killing said cycling transport and charging contents.
Yep.
I was like, this is disaster.
Charging the contents, killing most of
Um,
it, and then also then moving 10 inches potentially to
oh yeah,
safety. Like,
yeah.
it's just crazy.
Yeah, it would have been, it genuinely would have been to safety. It would have been to safety in like such a way that I don't know if they could have quite got back onto my home end of my next turn.
Yeah.
They would have been close. So it's
Yeah,
like,
it's just yeah. I actually have a video coming out. I
yeah,
think Friday. I think it's scheduled for talking about some of like the basic tricks you can do with like this from the simple things of like being able to rapid ingress the twins and then 6 inches away from an objective that wasn't contested because you didn't have anything on it, but it was screened from 9 inch deep, like 9 inch ingress. It's like, oh well, you now have to screen that 15 inches if you don't want me on it, which basically means you need to be on it. Which is like, cool, now you're feeding me free units. It's just like so silly the things you can do there. Like,
yeah,
yeah. And like
yeah.
screening
My
objectives
playing some,
15 inches from all
you go.
parts of an objective. Like,
It's just not possible.
yeah.
Like, not without losing automatically.
Yep.
Yeah, I was playing a mate last night, and two of my other friends were playing at the table behind us, and one of them was playing Retcad Twin Lance,
Yeah.
and just the amount of like, this is bullshit. What were they thinking? That was just like coming from from the table behind me. I was like,
The Retcad Twins is so silly though, because you can you move at the end of your opponent's turn, then you move 10, and then you shoot, then you move 6.
fire and fade. Yeah.
And then you charge. Oh, you can't charge then. But yeah, like it's just like the amount of stuff you can do is so silly.
But still,
like, yeah,
fire and fade and 6-inch deep strike on that data sheet are munted. Like it's
No, I think also just like if they try and play slow against you, because like say they go in second, the fact that you just out attrition them because you have like a Riptide and the twins both going out shooting something and then going back to safety. So like you can't play like fire and fading one thing, you can kind of have enough to like, out it. You can keep up with that attrition. If they're killing 2 things, then going back to safety, it's just like, how do you deal with that?
It's essentially like indirect fire at that point. Like it's low key infernal puppeteer.
Yeah. It's indirect fire, but it's hitting on 3 like rolling ones.
Yeah. So cursed. Whose idea?
Yeah. Silly data sheet, but super fun to play with.
Yeah. And it's totally one of those things. It'd be like when I picked up an Eldar army and I'd played versus Eldar and I was like, this is bullshit. And then I still remember my first time flicker jumping. And I was like, oh my God, this feels amazing.
Yeah. It's like that the meme where it's like the guys in the blue with like he's just taking like the cocaine on the thing and he's just dancing there. It's just like that just happens. Hell yeah. Well, shall we get into the topic of discussion for tonight, which is kind of like we were talking about like one of the big meta bullies, which is this like tower list that's like quite oppressive, either Montcar or Retcad, both are very strong. But there's also quite a few other like big meta bullies. We're not specifically talking about the meta, but how do you build your list? Do you succumb to it and just be a part of it, or do you like how do you build against it? And like both are valid. Like genuinely, like you can play the good thing is never a bad thing to do, right?
Yeah.
But there's definitely a say to like build something if you don't want to or do not collect said overpowered factions. Not even overpowered, just strong factions. I don't think any of them are unwinnable. Certain matchups might be, but for the most part, Catan, like Necrons and Tau are very beatable armies. You just have to get lucky. Especially in singles where like table pick doesn't come up. Whereas like Montcar on a light table, man, that feels hard.
Oh, fun. I hate it.
Yeah. So like, what are some considerations and like archetypal that will help you into the the Catan spams, or even like 2 to 3 Catan, the warrior spams, and then like the 2 versions of Tau, like the Retcad and Montcar lists. Like what are archetypes? Like, is it like are pressure lists good? Are horde lists good? Like what kind of archetypes do you think could be really strong in this current like meta we're in?
Yeah. Are you asking that to me, or is it a rhetorical question for the listeners? We're asking that of me.
I can ask it. It was kind of rhetorical, but it's actually a good starting point, right? So let's just
right. Yeah. We planned this deeply. Yeah. So I think sadly, much the same as the last meta, like as you alluded to, not much has changed, and I think sadly that means that the same kind of MSU and horde are both going to be really good kind of archetypes, because everyone is especially with Marines, kind of. I almost wonder if it might be more pronounced because Marines were one of the top boogeymen, and they're still very good, but they are one of the only things at the top that kind of took what you could call like a serious nerf. Still really good, but noticeable impact. Which means that like the top of the meta is more so now, even more so, just those big vehicles, which means you're skewing into killing it even harder, which means the counter meta of MSU Horde is going to be even better.
Yep.
Yeah, like I know, for example, and then you also beat people that are teching. Not only do you beat that, but you beat people teching to beat it as well. Like for our Chile internal scrim, I designed my list really partly around being funny, but also partly around like hitting those big killing those big targets.
Yep.
And then my pod is this entirely MSU and Horde, this entirely counter meta stuff, and I'm like, me. So like there's a lot of merit to that kind of skew. Yeah.
Yeah, usually the stuff that's good at killing Catan isn't good at killing hordes for the most part. There is some things like Tau Breaches, great at actually killing Catan, also great at killing hordes, funnily enough.
Yeah.
But for the most part, yeah, you're wanting the big, the repulsor executioners and stuff like that. Like they're good because they have the big good damage guns, but they also have good volume as well. So like I still think Ultramarines are a really good pick for like if you want to beat Necrons. Into Tau on an even board, I think are actually also fine. Because like if a Riptide comes out to shoot down at a Victrix unit, one Riptide doesn't pick up a Victrix unit. You get to potentially surge or like move out of range, and then the next turn, a Repex can just one tap a Riptide. It's actually not out of the woods. It's not necessarily guaranteed because it's only the 2 shots, and you do have a CP for invul reroll. All it takes is you to fail both of them, CP reroll into a fail. Yes, it's not the most likely thing, but it happens way more often than I'd love to admit. And then you just have no Riptide, and then it's like, okay, this is much worse of a game now because like that was one of my things to kill said Repex. Now it's still alive. So I think stuff like that is like quite important. 2-up saves I think are also quite good in the meta right now. Tau's a lot of like AP 1 to 2 for the most part, and same with Necrons for the most part are like AP 2 the army. So 2-up saves and access to AOC or access to like other ways of like minimizing damage I think are actually quite good into these armies because they're like Tau's damage is really good, their durability isn't as high. Necrons is kind of the opposite. They kind of damage through committee apart from the Catan themselves. But they are incredibly durable, which is why it's quite hard, I feel, to actually build a list that's specifically good into both those archetypes. So it's like, where do you hedge your bets for both, right? Like that's kind of how you have to piece like a list together that is, obviously we're talking more singles here than teams, because in teams, you don't care if you beat both. You just need to be able to beat one of them, right? Because then you just pair into that regard. But for singles, you do need to have like some kind of hedge, because I think the hedge of I just won't play that is just luck, and like you need something in those kind of regards to play against.
That's my main strategy for singles, Chris. Leave me alone.
Yeah. Yeah. And this is why you just play meme lists, mate.
Yeah, exactly. And then like honestly, play meme list, all responsibility out the door. You lose, it was a meme. You win, I'm a god. But I think the other thing Ultramarines does is it kind of techs for not only does it tech for like 2 kind of things that are skewing kind of slightly both ways at the top of the meta, but it also techs really hard for that counter meta. Like I've seen a lot of people start including Reapers, Gladiator Reapers in their lists, which are really good at kind of clearing that horde MSU, and even with +1 to wound oath and dev wounds with twin linked, they're not even bad into the tougher targets as well. Like they'll do some damage to a Catan. So yeah, I think Ultramarines is still really good. It's just not going to feel as like some of the more feels bad things are gone. Kind of.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, well the Ultramarines list, basically, because you got to take Terminator Kelgar now, like you lose 60 points into Victrix, but those 60 points is like the combi lieutenant went up, and then you have like points to flex into the things you needed to. So you actually didn't lose basically anything else. You could literally have taken the same list again. I think people are taking like some are now taking the the Grave Captain with on a Vehement. So like, you know, because he's just another great piece. So then you have Vitrix that can reactive with Kato. You have the Combi Lieutenant that can reactive, and then you have free reactive from the Grave Captain as well. So you have all these like little pieces, and like the Grave Captain is still just so annoying to kill. Like so many times is like he ends up being alive on like one wound because he halves damage, and he has a free strat reroll when he needs it, you know, against the biggest, scariest thing that's coming at him. Like he can often just stay alive. And like especially these armies that are like damaged by committee, like you just don't get to do enough damage to him, and then like he holds an objective for a turn for you. So like he's then getting that value, and he's only like 80 points. Like it's not like he's expensive.
He also does damage as
Yep.
well, which the Combi Lieutenant does not.
That's true.
Yeah, he's really cute. He's a handsome man.
He's a very handsome man.
Yeah, damn. And then that silence after that.
Yeah. I think a really powerful thing in the meta right now for the Tau matchup is you definitely want to be including a unit of Infiltrate. Whatever it is, even if it's really expensive for your army, you are taking a good Infiltrate unit that's multiple models. Like you want 3 to 5 models minimum here. Like a Lictor doesn't really cut it here. You want to take something bigger, something that you can get a footprint. So then if you win first drop and you can drop first, you can block scouts and you can block the Pathfinders from infiltrating, and just then if they go first, it's not as impactful. And then you can also kind of blank the first turn of the Montcar, which I think is a really important thing to be able to do. Against Retcad, doesn't really matter nearly as much. If anything, you don't really care if they infiltrate a whole bunch. But specifically into the Montcar builds, you want that because that can be the tempo swing enough just to get you to eke the win. Especially if it's like not a bad board. You know, you went second, but you got first drop, which is, you know, that will happen a lot of the time. I think that's a really good place to be. And it just takes like that 80 to 120 point slot of your army to just sacrifice. Yes, if they go first, that infiltrator unit's probably dead, but it's worth it for the tempo that you can get out of the game.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, that's a good pickup. Other than that, I don't know if there's. What do we want? Do we want to build a list, or do we want to sort of start at the How do you want to?
I think we can just do core concepts, right? I think there's probably enough of it. Like what things are good into like, because like you also need to be able to beat Marines, right? Because there's so many Marine armies out there. Like CSM will be out there, so you need to be able to beat like 3 wound elite infantry. But you also like the Astra Militarum lists are going a lot more infantry heavy, right? Now that Dawns have gone up again, people are realizing that these are actually really expensive now. They're still good, don't get me wrong. Double Dawn's still quite strong. But like Scions are now damage and efficiency a lot higher now, especially now that they don't get the rarer ones to wound blanked. Like, you know, like they actually now get that part of it in Grizzled. So they actually do crazy damage. So like you also need to be able to screen out those things. So things that like 12-inch denials, like infiltrators from Space Marines, or things that do that 12-inch bubble are actually quite good for like, you know, blocking that out, making sure those Scion bricks can't come down. So I think there's a lot of like different places that you can think of in the meta that what it's not just trying to beat Necrons and Tau. Obviously you want to have a good matchup into them, but you also need to be able to beat the things that do convincingly beat them, or the tech that people take. So like if people are taking, you know, more horde armies, like if Green-Tide Orcs become super popular because it beats these two armies, like you need to be able to beat Green-Tide Orcs, right? Like
Reaper stands up.
Yeah. Reapers, Reaper, Tau might go into like 2 units of breaches because like, oh, if this is the thing that can beat me, so like how, like it's obviously like, anti-meta, you could keep going down the rabbit hole, but like I think we need to go at least one full layer of like meta stuff to try and really figure out what can be like what's good and what's bad.
Yeah, for sure. So shall we in that case CSM I think is like maybe an interesting one to cover.
Yep.
Because we have talked to, I don't know if they're not quite in that top 4-ish sort of spot, which I think we've kind of covered, but I think we're going to see a lot of them, all right,
Yep.
I've seen at a lot of the tournaments I've been looking at so far, like whether or not that's just new model syndrome. I think it's a combination of new model syndrome and it's quite a solid rule set. What kinds of things are we looking at for like Hurons, Marauders, and that kind of thing? Because I think it's essentially just like the old ACDC list, but a bit better. Is
Yep.
my kind of read on that. So
AOC
that I
super
think that's
strong
quite
against that.
well.
Super strong.
Yeah,
Because there's
especially
no way to
since I
pump
haven't
AP.
seen a lot of. Well, there's the Termi Sorcerer. Like I
Sure.
know a lot of Chaos Cult lists run the solo Termi Sorcerer, but I haven't seen the Marauders lists playing that
Yeah.
yet.
So I think this thing is like that's what comes out
But
after
I
people start
imagine
teching for
it'll
it.
crop up. Yeah, yeah. But you should have just realized that there was a problem, transferred it over from
Yep.
Chaos Cult, like because it's a problem in each one.
Yeah,
But
exactly. But
yeah,
this is the thing, right?
there's
Like
that.
people that like not many people actually played Chaos Cult. A lot of people played like double ACDC or triple ACDC and like Raiders. So it's like
Where it's not an issue. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
So it's like but I
yeah.
think because ACDC are just AP1. So if you can, be having to op saves with AOC like Vitrix Honor Guard or Terminators or anything like that, like these things are
That'd be
very,
better.
very good into those because one, they have enough volume to actually hit back through them. And they just don't die. Like you'll lose like a couple of guys on the go turn, which is really not enough. Like even with pumping the extra attacks, like yes, you're wounding on 3s or 4s because +1 -1 was like into Vitrix, so you're wounding on 4s, hitting on 3s, wounding on 4s with sustained. Like it just doesn't feel very good. So like I think that kind of stuff is pretty strong.
Yeah. Yeah, I had a AOC Lucius bounce an entire ACDC brick once.
Mm.
Like he took like no damage. Like he killed a few of them first, so it wasn't the whole thing.
Yep.
It's very strong with ACDC.
Mm.
Yeah, I think Infiltrate's also quite good there because you can kind of like if you go first, you can jail them. Like that list suffers a lot into jail. It also
Yep.
doesn't have like the scout enhancement from Raiders, so it gets up the board slower. Like you have your auto advance 6 for the go turn.
Yep.
Other than that, they're all further back. What else? Recon Guard? Is that? Do you reckon that's something you need to?
I don't think. I think you're more taking for Grizzled with extra infantry than the pure horde of Recon Guard. I just don't think there's enough people that don't have the model selection or the actual ability to play that fast enough. Because like that was one of like Nemo's biggest issues with the list is like he is almost clocking out every game, and it's like, and he makes no decisions. That man is moving every time it's just like the clock's on him. Like he's always doing something. Like, like you need to be so well repped with it because you can't sit there for 2 minutes and be like, well, do I do this? Do that? You just have to, because you are moving models for an hour and 30 minutes of your 2-hour time, right? Like,
I reckon that's a look controversial semi-meme shit take here. I reckon that's an advantage. I've been playing Outlander Claw again recently, and you not to the same extent, but you sort of have to do the same thing because you have so many units, so many models. You're just sort of making decisions rather than thinking about them. And I honestly reckon like playing the game a bit more mechanically like that can help decision making. But that's kind of also me memeing a little bit.
yeah. But like your lots of models is like 80 to 100 models. This is 200 plus models.
That's fair. Yeah.
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 And you still have to shoot everything because all your damage is by committee. Like it's such minimal chip damage. It's a lot of damage. It's actually a weird how much damage Recon can do, but it's all just like this unit will do 2 damage. This unit will do 2 damage, but you just have 20 units. So like 20 units of damage is enough damage to actually kill things.
Yeah, it's exactly like Outlander. It's well that element is the chip. Yeah. It all have sustained as well. Like you got to count out all the little sustained.
It takes time, man. Like it genuinely takes a lot of time. So it's like, whereas like Grizzled, like you're probably still only around like the 100 to 120 model range because I think you probably still take a Dawn because like a Dawn is still very good. But then you can take 2 to 3 Simon packages. You take 30 Cassican. You can take the big 20-man Cadian squad with the commander and then Nork as well. Nork's been very good in lists recently. Just being able to doombot people in combat is very funny. Like, so yeah, so like I think that's quite strong. So, but like, if you're attacking for that again, that's a horde, right? So that horde is trying to deal with like Catan and stuff because they just can't, like Catan can't get through the bodies of that, and a lot of the Montcalists, if they're not running breaches or not many breaches, just can't chew through it because a lot of Tau's output is quite high value, not high volume. Like it's decent volume, which is why they still kill a lot of things, but it's not like they can't kill 200 models, right? So it's like that's kind of where you get at when it comes to that.
Yeah, no, I only say because I think we've finally like Melbourne might have finally hit like hobby lag for Recon Guard, like suddenly starting to see a few of them crop up, and I'm like, yes, you've been working in
Very
the
good, yeah.
Eastern Forges.
Yeah. You're in the guard now. But yeah, I think like Recon is very strong, don't get me wrong, but I think it's just a lot of people won't see it nearly as much. I think another strong army at the moment is the Custodes Triple Land Raider. I think that's like very popular.
I think I think my team, just as an aside, my team's the only team playing it for this team tournament.
Spicy.
Which seems nuts.
Yeah.
But yeah.
On its table pick,
I think
it does good things, like very good things.
That's kind of what I was actually gonna say. Because do you think it suffers for singles because of that? It's on WTC.
Bit. I think WTC, yes. GW, probably not.
GW, absolutely not. Yeah. GW just suffers for going second, I think.
Yeah. But like you're durable enough that you can kind of like play around that a little bit. You know, like you are still 2-up save. Everything's getting cover. You have 4-up invols. Like you just have to like, well, if I'm down in Land Raider to start with, that sucks, but it is what it is, you know? Like, and like not a lot can like wants to, and especially if you have a Land Raider set up to whatever shoots Land Raider, you move Land Raider out to shoot back. So it's like, do people want to make that trade turn 1? Because like that's starting a tempo game really early. So people might not want to even incentivize to do that. So there's like some things there, but I do think it's a strong archetype. So you need to be able to kill a decent amount of 3-wound infantry or be able to move block it or do something like, if you play, an army, so like orcs, just have a unit of 10 commando so you can just wrap the entirety of a Land Raider if it's out on its own with guys inside, like stuff like that, or like 10 boys, like 80 points to keep 300 odd points tagged up for a turn is super value because orcs don't have they have decent damage, but they don't have a lot of damage over one turn. They kind of need like damage throughout a game to actually kill a lot of things. So being able to tie things up, like Zodrog's 20 man, right? Like this Land Raider is not moving for the foreseeable future. Like it's just what it is.
Well, yeah. Well, the other thing I guess that points to is damage 3 is still like premium because you still have Vitrix Guard will still be around. You still have like a few of the Necron things, damage 3 wounds, and then you have Custodes being sort of up there as well.
Chosen and Possessed, I think, are quite popular as well.
Yeah, Cob is going to be quite good as well. It really likes the new data sheets, so that damage 3 kind of breakpoint is still going to be really good. Yeah.
So if you have options of 3 damage, either melee or shooting, definitely very valuable right now. Which is why I've seen a couple of the Montcalists being real greedy in that regard and just taking like double Ion Hammerhead, triple Riptide, and foregoing breaches. Which is why I think we will see that horde element come up, which we were talking about earlier. Just like very like if they go too greedy, that's what will happen, right? Like Green Tide or Chaos Cults or something will just come in and be like, okay, you actually don't win this game now, but you actually can't get through me. I just turn 2, have everything in front of you. You kill 60 boys, but then the rest just tags you for the rest of the game. Like that's just just it. And 2 Riptides don't kill 20 boys, right? So they fall back, and you should be able to kill 1 Riptide on your go turn. So like, what do? The tanks can't fall back and shoot.
So what you're telling me, 120 Zangles is on, is what I'm hearing.
Oh yeah,
that's OP.
Yeah, they get a 5-up invul, right?
Nah, 6-up. You got a 1 CP to put them to a 4-up. so that's okay.
Not bad.
Yeah, it's all right. Like the one big brick can be pretty tough.
Yep.
The rest of them are not. Yeah.
Yeah, like you do have like niche things that might be good, but again, I don't know how well that goes into Catan. I do think if people are going greedy with Catan and still trying to run for Catan, like Horde works really well in that regard as well, because like you just charge 20 idiots into a Catan, and it's like you'll be here for a few turns. So it's like to like get through it, right? Like
multiple. Yeah. Although the one kind of thing is, I know I said at the start, like I wonder if the meta is just going more towards big stuff because of the Ultramarines nerf. I don't actually know if that's true because the way, like the nerfs to Pantheon, many of the Necronalists I've been seeing here since the slate have all had 20 warriors. You need to be able to kill 20 warriors.
Yep.
Because that's such a binary unit. Like it dies or it's there forever. You need to be able to kill it. And then you also have stuff like ACDC spam, whether that's in Chaos Cult or it's in Huron's Marauders. And then you also have all these damage 3 guys wandering about. So you actually do need to be spreading, which kind of goes to why you were saying Ultramarines still so good. You need to be spreading your profiles really wide, which means it might actually all these kind of stat check or activation lock, stat check by bodies might kind of be able to coexist actually. Like maybe the meta is, I don't know. Did it data slate good?
I generally, the more I think about it, the more it's actually okay. But like, this is why I'm saying 2-up saves is also really good, because a lot of the Hordier armies are all AP 1 or AP 0. So it's like the 2-up saves really like go up. Like the less AP there is in the game, the 2-ups really start punishing people. So like that's where that can get really good. It is worse, obviously, into like the Tau and Montcar stuff and Retcad, because they get additional AP and they're already AP 2 or 3 and they're ignoring cover. Like AOC is still a great strat, but against AP 1 and you AOC and you're just still taking 2-ups and like, oh no, they gave me 30 saves. Cool, I lose 1 guy. It's like good. Like it's really rough. Like then like orcs and stuff can't deal with that attrition, right? Like orcs have basically no way of getting additional AP in their entire like any detachment that they have in melee. So it's just like how do you deal with that, right? So like they're basically locked at AP2.
It's very funny because that was a huge problem for them last edition as well. They just didn't fix it. Like they just let them languish.
The thing is, you can't make boys AP2, right? Because they become insane as soon as you give them like, because it's so high volume, like as soon as you tweak one stat, it actually like amplifies the damage so much. It's like an issue.
Yeah. Well, you know what? Bring back war gear costing. Give them all the option to take power claws. That'd be the
20 boys with power claws, 1 attack each. Just dunk.
Give them 2.
I think another thing that we need to be thinking about is the Blood Angel changes with the Blade Guard vets. Like 3-up save, so not 2-up saves, 3-up saves, 4-up invul, 5-up feel no pain on 3 wound models is actually quite tough to chew through. And then that premium 3 damage shooting really doesn't feel that premium anymore.
Yeah. With rerolling 1s in combat as well. Not that you're seeing a heap of combat.
Or no, rerolling like 1s to save, is just so good. Like, oof.
Yeah. 4-ups rerolling 1s is nasty into a feel no pain. It's like not quite, but it's during on a 3-up invul. Like it's silly.
Yeah, it's better than a 4-up invul. So like that's really obnoxious. So it's like it's quite good into the melee matchups, but then also the armies out that do have a lot of access to this 3 damage shooting, whether it's like Doomsday Arcs or like Tail Riptides, you have to put multiple of those activations into one unit to guarantee you kill it. So like then depending on how you position, if it's a board, on a medium board, that can be a real nightmare if it's one of the either GW boards that have like a bit more of a safe expansion. Like how do you dig out 6 Blade Guard and a Sang Priest from your expansion when it's one of the ones that is like slightly like safe? You just never can, right? Like you just have to auto-see it is like the only way to deal with that.
The one issue I see with that list is it does feel a bit paper scissors rocky. Like the damage too is gonna struggle into a lot of other things in the meta. Like how does that kill Catan? It cannot.
Lamati's unit pretty good actually, surprisingly. Like reroll hits, you
Yeah,
can give
there's
them lance.
one
like,
unit.
Yeah. Well, you can take two because you take a second 10-man with a Death Company captain because he gives the unit sustained hits. So then Lance Lethals is sustained Lance Lethals with like pretty good, and then they natively reroll hits. Like that unit actually slaps. It's not as durable as the Lamati's unit, but man, does that unit hit hard.
And you can fit both of them and the 18 Blade Guard.
Yep, it's only like 1,300 points or something. Yeah, okay. 1,400 points. It's not that much. Like, it's a lot. It's 5 bricks. But, like, it's 3 very hard to kill bricks, 1 somewhat hard to kill brick, and then 1 just lethal brick, which is like your rapid ingress, right? Like, you just have the Death Company captain brick be your ingress unit, so then they can ingress somewhere safe, put advance and charge on, slap them on the butt, and they just go off. And I think lag is the detachment for this, not Rage Cursed. Even though you're taking the 2 Death Company units, I think the Lance Lethals is better as a stratagem. And the Field of Pain is nice on the Death Company, but I think going to strength 7 on the Blade Guard when they charge is just a huge break point, because then toughness 12 with Lance, you can be wounding like toughness 12 on 4s, which is pretty fucking big. You're actually then punching through like land raiders and stuff like that as well. And also Custodians on 2s. Hell yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Not looking forward to seeing lag back. Oh well, like not that it's oppressive. I just didn't enjoy it. Like, yeah.
I genuinely think these lists are nightmarish to deal with for some armies. Like, how do Custodians actually kill them? Like, they just sit in combat, and then I think they lose out 1 for 1, which is like pretty grim.
Yeah. My one question as well is, are the Blade Guard strength 5 going to 7?
Yes.
Is that the...
Yep.
Yeah, so they are still, like, on the charge. They're still fine into the cut. Because I was going to say, like, with triple Sang Priest and, you know, all your bricks want the Lance strat, you're only getting that in one place.
Yep.
Like, 7 is fine as a breakpoint.
Yep. One of the Sang Guards takes the speed of the Primarch for fights first once per game as well. So that's just like... You just yeet it forward in the melee matchups and be like, you can't deal with this. Like, it's just quite strong.
Yeah, I remember I played Dan on that, like the French 18 Blade Guard before the Sang Priest change. One of the last times I was back in New Zealand, and it felt good even then, like even without this.
Yeah. But being also going to AP3, like into like World Eaters and stuff like that, feels real good. Even though one of your units is going to be down to damage 1, AP3 is like just still pushing through actually quite a bit of damage, and it's a lot of attacks, right? Like they go up to what, 4 attacks each, 5 attacks each on the charge. Like, it's a lot.
Yeah, this Marines with no AOC, that's brutal. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like, I think that there's a lot to like there. So, and how you deal with those is you take more trash, because you need to just be able to out OC them, because they have nothing to do to stop you from just putting things on an objective. So I think trash is really good in that regard. So if your army list is got a lot of like cheap pieces, like Outlander Claw or something like that, like you've been playing Tate, that's a good way of beating this, right? Like, you're not trying to kill it, you're just trying to stop it from doing its thing, which is just running through your army and not being killed. So like, you move block it, flip the points, and then just call it a day. They're only OC 1 each. Like, it's very easy to flip the points. So like, that can just be your game plan there. If you do have the damage, great, but
yeah. Well, Outlander Claw, because I played again, no, if I found a pain, but when I played Dan, it was with Outlander Claw, and I did kill a lot of it. So because without the other thing in that matchup is that Dante's your protection against that playstyle, because he's got his little battle shock aura start of the fight phase. So he sits near and the Sangard are OC2. So he like sits near your Blade Guard on the expansion, so you can't do that flipping thing.
Yep.
But I don't know if do you think you take Dante in the new
maybe
the new build?
I'm not
very bricky.
Yeah, I'm not a Blood Angels expert. Like, you know, I do have a Blood Angels army. It's it becomes real tight, right? Like for singles, I still think you need like a lancer or two, because you need to be able to threaten some shooting lanes. Otherwise, like Tau just sits in the open and just gets to pummel you. Like you can't allow that to happen. I was saying with Necrons, right? Like cool, I can stage, but these Doomsday Arcs, or the Silent King, to be able to sit in the open and just wail down on stuff doesn't feel very good. So I think you need like a lancer or two lancers or a repex or something to be able to do that. And then once you've added that, by the time you add intercessors, a unit of scouts, like the kind of minimal scoring package that you really need for Marines, I just don't know if like 120 points for Dante is where it's at. I think solo Sandguard are quite good, and maybe solo Dante actually makes the cut. Like, have them so you can have one unit of Sandguard, one unit of Dante, and you have the option to split them in matchups where you need more pieces, or you can have them together when you need the bigger brick. Maybe.
Yeah. That's what I was going to suggest, was the solo Dante, because then he can be like a little missile. If he's not doing a heap in that matchup, he can go kill like 5 idiots. Or if you need him, he can sit behind a wall protecting your expansion with that. You're going to throw out your unit for battle shock, like your trash flipping unit, shock at -1. You might just be losing it, and you have to kind of like take that gamble. 120 points for that. Like in GSE, you don't even play a solo Patriarch to do that at 85. So
yeah, but Marines are also like on a different value. But yeah, it's still expensive for that, so probably not. Just take the Twin Lance, because they just get to put a battle shock every charge phase.
Yeah. Ultimately, why are you playing Blood Angels? Just take the Twin Lance.
Hell yeah. Why can't it be like, why can't every army just take the Twin Lance? The funniest thing is when Twin Lance first got revealed, I was like, these guys are going to be so trash, because it's like they have like 2 different weapon options, like they're just not going to be good. And then they just gave them 72 guns, and I was like, okay, like I guess this is fine.
They really pulled the bait and switch on you. The worst Twin Lance take I have heard is, I got to do a public call out for Cam, very good Tal player. When Twin Lance is released, he's like, "You're never taking this over a Riptide." I was like, "You're insane."
Hot. Just the sus hits, ignores cover, and the move is like, even if the guns were average, you still take it. I think just for the control that it gives you in games. Yeah. Like I've just straight up won a game.
Yeah.
Because I was able to like flip my opponent's primary with the Twin Lance, because I rapid ingressed it down, flipped his primary, moved it 16 inches. I was playing Monka, and then shoot him, and then move another 6 inches and flip his home. Like, good. Like, I was like, because you didn't screw me out, so I had to rapid ingress in my home field, so I could rapid ingress, and then it's just so silly, the stuff that you can do with that unit. Like, it's just, in Montcast specifically, it's so fast, but even in like Red Cat, it's still very good. But this is not the chat about Twin Lance. That's coming out Friday. Hell yeah.
I'll tune.
Yeah, hell yeah. But yeah, so I think that's another thing you need to be worried about, is not worried about, just like have a think about how do you deal with 18 Blade Guard vets with 5 Infinite Pains and AP3. Like, you can't tag it because they kill most things that can tag them, unless you're a thing that is durable enough. But if your thing's durable enough, it's probably a waste to tag them, is what I would say.
What you can do in a lot of the sort of more MSU lists, if you're playing that, is you can go for like the double tag. You can like base them all up with a shitty unit, and then you have your sort of medium durable unit touch one of them or whatever. Yep. The problem is that's a very good way of handling some units like that. It's not very sustainable to handle 3 to 4, because even though you have a way higher unit count, if you want to be controlling multiple bricks like that, you're bleeding like 6 units a turn.
Yeah.
4 to plus a turn. So it's good for a bit, but it's not perfect.
Yeah. I was also thinking about Angelic Inheritors specifically, because one, like they make Blade Guard quite good. There's no advance and charge strat, so I don't know how great it is, but you do give one of your Blade Guard units a Scout 6. So you put them in an Impulsor, and you can scout it up towards your opponent's expansion, and then you just yeet your other 2, one onto the middle, one onto your expansion, and then you have one on your opponent. So you're like, deal with this. And you probably get like at least a 15 on primary. Like, you probably get 1 good round, maybe 2. you know, because you also back it up with like, you know, the rest of your army behind it. And like, that's pretty crazy, I think. Like,
I think that's good. You're probably not playing 18 is my kind of feeling on the inheritors list though, because like that unit is good. The 18-inch loan op on that unit is good, but like you're right, there's very little deliverability for the
yeah.
other blade guard units. Unless maybe you forego like the shooting elements of inheritors, you just get more stuff, and then you're also playing like the MSU Sandguard.
Yeah. But again, like I
Maybe I
still
don't
think it's
know.
probably better in lag because strength 7 is just such a good spot to get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like it's huge. Because it's like everything you're
It's
winning
like
minimum fives,
wood.
fours with
Yeah.
lance, like huge. Like
Yeah.
but yeah, I think
I
there's
think
something
so.
cute
Like,
you could find there. Like
yeah. 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 I also think advance and charge and fall back on charge is so big on that unit. Like all the other detachments have one of them, but you need both for the blade guard, really.
yeah, always
So
on
yeah,
fallback and charge is very good though. Not a strat, is like quite strong.
Yeah,
And always being able to put reroll saves on them because they're always rerolling ones to hit. Anyway, is pretty nice. But yeah, like it's niche.
yeah,
I think it might be interesting in singles. The 18-inch loan up is also very cute because it forces like armies to get close to you. But I'm not sure how good it is. It's kind of like I only thought about it today, to be fair. So
yeah. I think
might be
it's probably the thing, right? If you're playing inheritors anyhow, slam one of that unit in.
yeah,
Is I think
minimum
how
one.
it
Yeah,
goes.
I
Like
think you could definitely like your
yeah,
stonks will go up by putting one in. So I don't think Imperial Knights or Chaos Knights are in a very good spot right now, so I don't think you really need to tech for them too much. If people are starting to over tech for Horde, maybe, but I think that's one layer too many down that we need to be really worrying about for like counter metas. Your counter the counter, which is like, you know,
yeah.
if everyone's down the rabbit hole as far as you are, good. But as
Galaxy
soon
brain.
as someone's not,
Yeah,
you're like in a bad spot.
yeah. You're just an idiot. It's like the bell curve of like idiot, standard person, idiot. Like
Yeah,
it's,
yeah, definitely. But the other
yeah,
option you can do is if you can just put raw output, right? Like I think that is something that you can do. Like whether it's like Thousand Suns, which is just like pure vomiting like flamers and everything like that. I don't think it's very good, but like it does just have the ability to check damage, right? Like Thousand Suns have this amazing position to do that, where like you put a stat check in front of me, I can kill it. Like if you put a Catan in front of me, I can get that Catan down, especially if it's on an objective.
yeah. So Thousand Suns, I think, it's really good into the meta. It's not good into the counter meta stuff that we're talking about. So it's an interesting spot
Yep.
because I think while it can kill the counter meta stuff really well, it just loses like it cannot trade for shit.
Yeah.
So like it goes into those sort of MSU lists and it just gets outplayed. But in terms of killing the things at the top of the meta, yeah, it's really good. It hits like it's fairly profile agnostic because it's just such high AP, such high volume that it doesn't really matter if you're the sort of are you an ACDC brick? Are you 3 wound guys? Are you a tank? Like it does all of it. It's gonna suffer into stuff like the 6 sags aioli
Hey.
and then like the GS as well. Yeah.
Yep.
I promise I didn't plan that. Yeah, it's gonna suffer into those kinds of things. Maybe Recon Guard, like it kills it quite efficiently, but it still struggles at the scoring game. So
Yeah, it has to put all of its effort into killing it, so then it's not scoring. So then if you have pulled cleanse, establish locus, and yeah, other actionable things, it's like this feels real bad.
Yeah, enjoy your
yeah. Enjoy getting like a 7 in this game because you end up like killing them by turn 4, scoring a 15, and then be like, okay, like
yeah. The move blocks also really punish the Thousand Suns because Magnus can get around, but everything else can't. Like Recon can absolutely play because you want to launch like 15 out your Rhino with the Temporal Surge, go flip a point. 10 Deathcore in the way is just nope. Like so, yeah.
That's one thing that's really interesting with like the Blade Guard and lag is they also beat the Horde armies quite well because they just have so much volume, right? Like it's like 30 plus attacks in each unit. Very consistently, you know, it'll be hitting on 3s, either full rerolls from Oath or reroll 1s, like pretty consistent. Like,
Ooh, question.
mm.
Does this open up like a I hate to be this guy, but Blood Angel's Gladius? Like, because
I
the
generally
reactive
think, yeah,
move
like
on that
reactive
unit,
move on Blade Guy Vets seems very strong.
yeah,
You don't need the extra AP. Going to
and then you
AP4
can
seems unnecessary. But Lance is
no,
good.
but you do need the lance, yeah, because you don't have the +2 strength. You need the lance,
Mm-hmm.
and then you have that fallback shoot and charge and advance and
Yeah, being
charge
able to
access
advance
that you
all of
need.
your Blade Guard in a turn
Um,
is very good, for sure.
yeah, it's funny.
Um,
It's probably not quite as good as lag, but
I think
like
the
if you
extra
want to go
attacks, because
like
it's extra
not
attacks and strength, right? Like that's because that's how it really pushes it over. Like,
yeah,
but yeah,
it's interesting though.
being
Like if
able
you
to,
wanted to go more shooting back in, sorry.
no, you go.
Oh, if you wanted like if you want to go 18 blade guard and then just like shooting back in and just go like
Yeah.
Vitrix light. But yeah.
Pretty actually, like generally more durable than Vitrix now, right? Like still three
Yeah,
up, like the 3-up armor save is why it becomes a bit weird.
it's different. It's different profiles. Like they're more durable versus that like damage 3, damage 2, but they're worse versus shit.
Yeah.
Is the thing. Yeah.
Yeah. The Fiona Pain really does help though. And also having an invul, because Vitrix just like you want to be shooting them with AP4, whereas like this you want to shoot with them with AP1 to 2. But I think there's generally something with Blood Angels there. Is there any other factions specifically that you want to like shout out that are strong or good or like have play? My first thought was like a Spectacle of Spite list, but I think like Spectacle have the funniest like metrics from like the stat checks one, where it's like they are they have like a 60% win rate, but like they never win an event. Like it's like they have the highest 4-0 rate of like any army, but they just never like go to 5-0. Like they always fail at that last step.
Yeah, perfect event for Kier. A perfect army for Kier.
Hell yeah.
No, that is
I don't think there's much else that we need to really cover. Scintillating Legion, maybe? Is there anything there? Like, do we think that the nerfs to that was too much?
I don't know. I wonder if you just go like demonic incursion locks now.
Yeah.
Like not 3 of them.
Yeah,
but you go like
as
yeah. Because then you have better general suite. You get that Guo back. You get Big Daddy back.
Yeah.
And then you can do like the 6-inch deep strike. Like if a stave lock popping up in a random 6-inch nook.
Yeah.
So I wonder if you do that. There's a list at my teams event, and again teams, not singles, from like a reasonably good player that is Scintillating Legion that's gone like a bit more MSU. Like it's 2 horror units. It's only 2 locks. And then it's like got the Demon Prince back in, and then it's gone like lots of flamers, like 6-man flamers, screamers, that kind of thing. I'll be interested to see how well it does. I know I don't want to play it with my list because the Overwatch is just like ass into me, but
that's very
it'd
good.
actually probably be okay. Yeah, so like maybe there's that, but I think Shadow Legion or Incursion's probably where it is at now. Yeah.
If only you could take Huron and Shadow Legion. That would be so hype.
No, you can't. Yeah, you can't take
yeah,
characters, but I would.
No special characters there.
You can't take the new units either because it doesn't say like you can't even take the Reeve Captain because it's like a list rather. It's not. It's not the It's not like CSM infantry or whatever. It's like a specified list, and they haven't updated it.
Yeah. Yeah. All right, then I think that we could probably close off there then, unless there's anything else you need to talk about. But these are like all the kind of considerations you need to have when you're building your armies. I think definitely locking in those infiltrators, definitely locking in like scouts, I think are very powerful right now. Durable units, 2-up saves, or hordes. Like there's a few different directions you can go, which I think is really good, right? Like it's actually surprisingly healthy, like because there's actually quite a lot of different things you can do. I'm not trying to say that Tau and Necrons are still a peg above everything else, but there's definitely ways to play into all these armies. And if Montkai have to hedge their bets by taking 2 or 3 units of breaches, they're not as good into the 3 wound infantry stuff. So then like there's other ways around it as well. Like the meta will always adapt. And there will be a Montcar list that's like, this is the correct amount of breaches, this is the correct amount of riptides, this is the correct amount of twins, which is always one. But like there will be like a balanced version, but then like if you go too hard into a skew, can it actually deal with it, right? So, and it'll be the same with Necrons, same with all these other armies. So it's like finding like, I do think it's like, genuinely, I think it's skew hell is what we're in right now. You can't take a balanced army. Like you generally have to pick a line and just fucking send it.
Well, it's like a weird tension, right? Because you're saying you can't do the thing of I hope I'm not going to play this, but your options are you have to skew hard some kind of way, but then you also everyone else is skewing some kind of way, but it could be in all these different ways. So you also need to be able to kill all these different things, which are just different kinds of stat check or activation lock.
Yep.
So it's really a bit of an awkward like. Fuck, I hope I don't play X.
Yeah, rock, paper, scissors,
then you
right?
just pick
like it's
well, yeah.
Like I think that's kind of how I've heard it phrased a couple of times, and
so
it's like
good.
skew hell makes that a thing because you're in this like hell where it's like, well, I have to pick a line and go with it. I'm running 30 Terminators, I'm running whatever it may be, and I just hope I don't run into the direct counter to this thing. But like you just have to hedge it, right? Like. You don't want to be bad. You don't want to be specifically weak to standard Montcar, standard Retcad, and standard Necrons. Like, if you're bad into those, you're probably going to have a bad time.
You're going to have a less than good event. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What was the other thing I was going to... Oh, on the Terminator Hell, there's a list at this event that's 50 Zerks and 10 Terminators in World of Is. Just like, and that's just like it.
To be fair, I actually don't hate that. Like,
I don't think it's bad. No, I don't think it's bad at all. Yeah. I was like, I don't want to play this. I certainly don't want to play that.
Even as like a Tau player, right? Like, you have to take... Does it have Goremongers?
I can't remember. It does have a few other MSUE bits. It may.
Because I think Goremongers, and then if you either get first drop or go first, you just send like crazy into like Montcar, right? And then you ingress the Terminators, and then you just actually have like a pretty good like tempo. Like it's not great, but like you definitely have a game there. Whereas like I've played World Eaters, and it's just like I played a really passive game, and it was still a win. And I was like, if I just full send, he's like, yeah, it's just horrible. I was like, yeah, okay. So like I played it as slowly as possible, and I still got a win. Whereas I think I could have just like shoved all my models forward and probably done much better. Whereas I feel like that kind of style list actually has a game plan into that, which is, find your outs and build for them. Like, that's kind of it.
Yeah. I was actually thinking it says a bit about the state of World Eaters, actually, because we're taking it, and then this guy's taking it, and there's that, and then our one's just like triple hell brute, we're going to scam you.
Hell yeah. The ping pongs are real.
They're both unique. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, cool.
Nice.
Yeah, cool. No further comments.
The biggest comment I have right now is we're at 69 views, so nice. So we're gonna close it off now, and I'm gonna shut down the stream.
Yeah, shut it down.
Yeah. But no, I think that worked out quite well. That was quite a fun little like chat about like not specifically like it's just high level talk about like the considerations you need to be thinking about, like when you're building a list, and understanding the things you're going to be bad into, because there's going to be things you're bad into, right? Just understanding it and accept it. Like, cool, like, we ball.
No.
Like,
no, I got the patented Frankie entirely green matrix, boy. I'm not bad into anything.
The Josh Megalushi, no bad matchup, and then but he also backs it with not losing a game. Like, no!
You can't keep doing this.
Oh man, he came over last weekend because he's living down by me now. And we were playing a different game that was just board games, but there was 2 dice, and he just picked them up, looked at me, rolled them, and rolled an 11. I was like, this is too much trauma.
Yeah. He's just beating the weighted dice allegations one by one. It's literal witchcraft at this point.
It's true. He just stares at them and just defies the laws of physics. But now, well, with that, we're just bantering now. So let's we'll call it quits for today. Thank you very much, Tate. I think I really enjoyed that conversation. That actually kind of made me think about a couple of different things that I wasn't thinking about before. So I think that was
No,
quite cool.
I agree. Yeah, it's interesting because a lot of these talks that we have, it's like it's stuff that's in the back of my mind, but you articulate it and you get kind of gets the gears going.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, definitely. I will, we'll be back next week as always, either on Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday, or another day if we decide. Because we're not very consistent on that. We are consistent at going live, just the day is always a surprise.
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, always Thursday or Wednesday, maybe Friday. Oh,
the odd Tuesday.
That's a good place. Yeah.
But yeah, now, thank you very much, everyone, and we will catch you guys next time. And I'm going to put it over to the wait screen, just so it doesn't happen. Because apparently, what's been happening, for those not aware, is when I end broadcast, it cuts off like the last 3 minutes of it. So all this banter that you really want to hear isn't on it. So I'm just going to put it back over to the stream starting soon tile for like a couple of minutes and then end. But the stream will be over now.